Hey guys, welcome back to another video from yours truly. This is going to be a thrift haul and I feel very out of practice. I actually think the last one I did was my Iceland thrift vlog, so this is more of a summery feel as opposed to a wintry feel because in a few weeks I'm going to be heading to Lisbon in Portugal and I'm so excited. I've never been to Portugal before and I've heard such great things about Lisbon. I've done a bit of research in terms of like vegan places to go to and markets and, you know, artsy things, good beaches to go to, things like that. But yeah, if you have any recommendations, if you live in Lisbon or if you're Portuguese or you've been to Lisbon, please do let me know. Very excited to go, and I'm also very excited to wear some of these secondhand pieces that I've been picking up from charity shops, from vintage stores, online on Depop. So I thought I would share them with you and try them on and just talk about clothes. Starting with some of the bits I got this morning. I went to a charity shop and I got lucky. I got 3 things and I think it came to £20 or like £20.50, just over, and I got some things that I've been looking for a while. So the first of which are these trousers, and these are gorgeous. Like the quality feels amazing. They've got pockets. Always nice to have a cheeky little pocket, and they're this shade of very pale blue silver, and they're really soft. They're like a silky satin sort of material, originally by French Connection, and they were £6, which is really good, I'm not gonna lie. I used to work in a charity shop. I've actually worked in multiple charity shops, like volunteered, and when you get donations in, you go through and like sort everything, sort what's worth selling, what's not worth selling, what you pass on and send to a different location, so on and so forth. And when you're like tagging everything up, you have a chart, so you have like the brand in one column, and then depending on what it is, whether it's like trousers or a top or a dress or a coat, there are different prices recommended for each brand. So it's basically so that like someone who's never heard of a brand, like say if someone's never heard of Primark and they pick up like a Primark top and they don't price it at like £30, that nobody's going to buy for a Primark top because you could get it cheaper first hand, you know. The more expensive brands, obviously it's recommended you price them up more expensively, and French Connection are pretty expensive first hand, so I was very surprised that these were £6, but it was a pleasant surprise because these are gorgeous. Another thing I'm definitely going to be taking to Lisbon is this bag. This was an absolute steal at £4.50. It's the perfect beach bag. It's got that nautical look with the rope handles, and I have been looking at these on Depop, but they're all so small. They're tiny, and although they look amazing, I do love the look of like a nice small straw structured bag. I feel like practicality wise, it's just not going to happen. Like, I am that kind of person that I like having a bag with a water bottle in, my reusable straw I like to take with me, I like a perfume, I like a face spritz, I like some like many lip products, a savoury snack, a sweet snack, a reusable coffee cup, just in case I want to get a hot drink to go alongside my cold drink. I like having stuff and feeling a bit prepared for any occasion. So like a big bag like this, I feel like is a decent size for a beach bag. You don't want a little straw bag that you can't even... Where are you going to put your towel? What, like, where are you going to put your sunglasses? It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how people travel that light. I'm certainly not a light traveller, and I will be using this in Lisbon for sure. I feel like I might have cut my finger on it though, because this morning my finger started bleeding when I picked this up. There's something sharp somewhere on this, so I'm going to have to look into that later. But yeah, very happy to have... Oh, I forgot about this. I also got this little beach number. What are these called? Not sarongs, just like an overdress to go over a bikini. It's actually a size large, but it's got a drawstring, so if I tried it on and I can like pin it into my waist, and it's just really nice and lightweight. Originally by Monsoon. It looks quite monsoony, doesn't it? Like accessorize-esque. The kind of lace design is really nice. Some people might think this looks like a neck curtain, but I think it looks quite Jane Birkin. And the last kind of beach accessory that I got in my haul this morning were these, and these are jelly shoes, and actually, ooh, nearly dropped them. I think these are by Primark because I'm looking at the label and it says Ocean Club, and from memory I think Primark's own brand beach wear range is Ocean Club. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. So these are probably quite expensive for Primark. Going back to that chart that I was talking about, somebody didn't price these up correctly. £5 these were, which is like fine, it goes to charity anyway, but you know what I mean. And I actually got these because, I mean, obviously they're not the most jelly shoes are not the most comfortable things ever, but if I go to any beaches in the UK, some of our beaches have pebbles as opposed, like rocks, as opposed to sand. So if I'm dipping my toes, because I like to paddle, I'm not so much a swimmer in the sea because I've nearly drowned quite a few times in water, so I'm like not the strongest swimmer ever. I've nearly drowned about 4 times, and I've had swimming lessons. I had swimming lessons from like a young age. Swimming is not... I love to swim, but I'm not very strong. you know? I'm not swimming against the current. It's not my thing. It's not on my CV as one of my strengths. So yeah, I'm just a paddler, but the problem with paddling is that sometimes you step on an urchin, you step on a rock. I never stepped on an urchin, but I step on rocks and I think they're urchins and I get freaked out. So yeah, a nice little jelly shoe, doesn't go amiss. Moving swiftly on to Depop purchases, so I invested in two pretty pricey dresses, but they're from two brands that I have adored for a while. The first of which is this Realisation par dress. Now this, again, even though it was secondhand, was an investment, but I have pined after this, not this specific dress, but this brand for a while. Most of their dresses have a very similar shape to them. They're kind of like flowy and sort of skater skirt at the bottom, but they pin in at the waist. And this, I think, is the Ivy dress. It is slightly see-through, but it's so lightweight, it's kind of understandable. I got mine in a small, and I was worried that a small would be too small. You never really know with a small whether it's going to be like a 6 or whether it's going to be a 10, or, you know, it depends on from brand to brand. So I was thinking like, oh, is this going to be a wasted purchase? Because obviously if you buy something off Depop, you can't return it most of the time. So luckily it fits. I'm kind of like a 10 on top. This fits like a glove and it feels amazing on, like it's so flowy and lightweight. And the other dress that I've been absolutely loving, this is a Reformation dress. So Reformation are actually a sustainable brand firsthand, which is really, really cool. I was actually reading about them on the Good On You app, which I mentioned in one of my recent fashion videos. It's a really good app if you want to learn more about different brands. And yeah, Reformation are pretty good. They've got 4 out of 5 on the Good On You app, which is a very good score. And yeah, this is, I can't remember what design this dress is, but it's got these kind of like capped sleeves, and it's a really, really lovely fit. It like hugs the figure nicely without being too tight and too restricting. I got this in a size 6, but it's a US 6. The only thing I would say about this is like the feel of the material isn't amazing. Like it is okay. It's got a lining to it. It's not see-through or anything, and it feels well made, but the actual feeling of the material, I think it's viscose, this material, or like it feels like a kind of rough, chiffony sort of material. It's got a certain roughness to it which doesn't feel like amazing against the skin, and I was kind of disappointed because firsthand these dresses are so expensive that I thought it's just a bit odd. Like you think it would be like the top quality material feeling against one's skin, but the style is lovely and I don't regret purchasing it, and I can't wait to wear this in Lisbon. A couple more Depop purchases. So I picked up a couple of things from originally by And Other Stories, but this woman, I think she was moving from London to Dubai like really quickly, so she was getting rid of a load of her wardrobe, and a lot of these things were not worn, or like they still had the tag on them. This one was worn, and this one smells like her. I don't know who she is, but God, she smells good. I haven't actually washed this yet, so it still smells like her. You know, like how different people have their clothes pick up their like family smell. You go to one of your friends' houses and it's not like a good smell, it's not like a bad smell, it's just their smell, you know? This smells like her smell, or his smell, whoever this was. Smells lovely. But yeah, that's not what you came to hear about. I love the quality of And Other Stories clothes, and certain high street brands, the quality is absolute piss poor. Like in comparison, clothes that were made 30 years ago feel like they were made to such a better quality, whereas when I buy secondhand And Other Stories pieces, I feel like the quality is really, really good. It's strange because they're owned by H&M, so you'd think they'd be the same quality, but anyway, the quality of this is gorgeous. It's a top, like a very, very thin jumper, I would say. It's actually quite a heavy knit. It's got cuffed wrists and a high neck, and I think it's really pretty. I love the colour. I feel like I would definitely drop something down this at some stage, and I have a feeling it's going to be bolognese or ketchup, tomato sauce, but I'm really, really trying to avoid that. Also from the same seller, I got these trousers, which you will have seen if you watch my latest lookbook. These are, pretty sure they're pyjama trousers, but we're just going to pretend they are outdoor trousers. And no one need know. They're really, really soft. They've got this lovely kind of like panel at the bottom, really, really bright red stripe. They pin in at the waist and they just sort of flow down. They've also got pockets in, which I love. I love a trouser with pockets. And then the last thing I got from that same seller is this skirt. This is a leopard print skirt, which you've probably seen bloggers wearing. I feel like this kind of print is very popular with bloggers, fashion bloggers and Instagrammers. I actually really love the look of this, like with a white silky cami or like a white tee. I feel like, I don't know, I think it's very cool, very funky, very 80s in print, you know, like it really takes me back. I wasn't alive in the 80s, but it takes me back, way back. Speaking of not being alive in eras, this is very 70s. I would say. Again, I wasn't there. I can't report whether it actually is 70s, but from what I think of in my head when I think of 70s, this is it. This is so cool and unique, and I got this in Oxford recently. I went to the vintage store on Cowley Road. It's called Rain Vintage, like Queen reigns over us all She is our overlord. That's what the store's called. And usually, not gonna lie, I never find anything of interest in there, or if I do, it's just way overpriced, like £40, £45. Like, I'm not gonna pay that for a top, you know. It's quite a lot of money for a secondhand store, but you do find that with curated vintage stock, they just price it up ridiculously. But this was only about £18. It's like this light knit polo, but it's got this two-tone effect to it, which I think is really, really cool and very unique. And I just think with like a pair of denim shorts, this would look really cool. Denim shorts, denim jeans. I actually got lucky twice in that store because I picked up a dress as well. Now this was a comme ci comme ça purchase, and I'm trying to avoid comme ci comme ça purchases. And if you don't know what comme ci comme ça means, it's, I believe it's French, and comme ci comme ça is, I think it's like this, like that. I think it literally translates to like this, like that, which is kind of like neither here nor there, like neither good nor bad, kind of like in the middle. Comme ci comme ça. And when I make a comme ci comme ça purchase, it goes one of two ways. It's either I took a risk on this purchase and it paid off and actually I end up wearing it loads, or it's a purchase that, say it's like a pair of trousers, I'll think, okay, I love them, I love the material and I love like the look of them, but they're a little bit too big, and okay, they're a little bit too long. It's fine, I will alter them and I'll make them a little bit shorter, a little bit smaller around the waist, and I'll also kind of like take them in at the middle. I'm never gonna do that. I'm never gonna, like, I don't have the skills. I wish I did, and like in theory I could teach myself, and one day hopefully I will. But I just, it's that effort, that comme ci comme ça purchase, that it's not quite right, means that they just end up living in the back of my wardrobe until I eventually donate them again. And I just want to stop doing that, because even when it's a second-hand purchase, it's still a waste of money, you know, and I would quite like to move out one day. So, trying to avoid comme ci comme ça purchases, but this was actually one, like I say, that pulled through. The shape of this dress kind of reminds me of a parka. Like, it's got the sort of drawstring that you would find on a parka, interestingly, but it's really, really lightweight, nice sort of linen material. And then last but not least, off of Depop, I picked up this skirt. It's this mint green skirt, kind of like a corduroy effect looking material, but it's actually not corduroy. It feels really lightweight, and originally when I got this and I saw that the label said Nasty Gal, I thought, oh, I don't know why, but in my head I feel like Nasty Gal, Pretty Little Thing, those kind of sites, they're like, to me, they seem like the cheapest of the cheap. Like, the prices are so low that this kind of like lightweight material, you think like, oh, that's not gonna last. And when I saw that it was from Nasty Gal, because I got it off Depop, I just read it as like a mint green skirt, but yeah, I thought, oh great, it's really, really lightweight, it's really flimsy. But actually in summer you don't want heavy corduroy. Like, sometimes you might want the look of corduroy, but you don't want that heavy thick material. So this was actually a good purchase. I've worn this a couple of times in the spring, lovely spring weather we've been having. It's very, very comfortable, and you don't get the dreaded thigh sweat and the chub rub that ensues, which I know it's coming. I know it every summer, every springtime I think like summer's coming, like a nice sort of like festival season, holidays, and like nice long evenings, but then also I think chub rub and wasps, they're coming too. That was actually quite a lot of stuff, but I have been picking this up over like a 4 or 5 month period, and like I say, I'm so excited to wear it in Lisbon. I'm not just going to wear it in Lisbon, obviously, I'm going to be wearing it in England as well, and anywhere else I may go this summer. Let me know where you're going this summer, if you've got any recommendations. I really do value your opinions, and like when I asked for recommendations for Iceland, like I went to loads of those places and they were banging, so thank you so much. I'm using you as my own personal TripAdvisor as per usual. Thanks for watching, and if you want to subscribe, please do, and hopefully I'll catch you in my next video. Bye guys!